You look at your plant, and nothing seems to be happening. The leaves are pale, the stems look thin. It has been sitting there for weeks, and you are still waiting for that strong, healthy growth you hoped for. You water it, you give it light, you even speak kindly to it. But the change feels slow, almost invisible. Then something small shifts. Not in weeks, in days. The leaves begin to look a little greener. The plant seems more upright. It is not dramatic, it is quiet, but it is noticeable. The surprising part is that the change did not come from a new fertilizer or an expensive product. It came from a simple kitchen item that costs about $1 and is already in many homes. Many longtime gardeners have used this method quietly for years. They do not always talk about it, but they understand something important about how plants grow. And if your plant feels slow right now, you are not doing anything wrong. Growth can feel slow. That is normal. Before explaining why this worked, it helps to understand what is really happening under the soil. When plants stall, most people assume they need more fertilizer. That seems logical. More food should mean more growth. But plants do not work quite that way. The most important part of a plant is not the leaves you see. It is the roots you do not see. Roots need air. They need gentle moisture. And they depend on tiny living organisms in the soil. These organisms are called microbes. They help break down nutrients into forms the plant can actually use. If the soil is compacted or flooded with water, roots struggle to breathe. If we add too much strong fertilizer, we can disturb the balance of the soil. The plant may push out quick top growth, but the roots remain weak. Many caring gardeners try to help by watering a little more often or feeding a little more generously. That comes from love. But sometimes the extra attention slows things down. Plants often need less interference and more balance. Healthy soil is alive. When that life is supported, the plant responds naturally. This is where the simple kitchen ingredient comes in. It is unsulfured molasses diluted in water. Just plain unsulfured molasses. Nothing fancy. Nothing complicated. Molasses is rich in natural sugars and small amounts of minerals. Those sugars do not feed the plant directly. They feed the soil microbes. When microbes are nourished, they multiply gently. As they grow, they help break down organic matter in the soil. They release nutrients slowly and steadily. Stronger microbes lead to stronger roots. Stronger roots lead to steadier growth above the soil. That is the quiet chain reaction. This is not magic. It does not force the plant to grow. It supports the natural biology already present in healthy soil. Organic gardeners have used diluted molasses for many years to encourage microbial life. It is simple, it is affordable, and when used properly, it is safe for most garden plants. The key is gentleness. A small amount goes a long way. When using molasses, dilution matters. Too much sugar in the soil can create imbalance. A light mixture in water is enough. The goal is to feed microbes softly, not overwhelm them. Most gardeners find that using this diluted mixture every 2 to 3 weeks during the active growing season is sufficient. Not every day, not even every week. Plants appreciate consistency more than intensity. This approach works for vegetables in raised beds, flowers in containers, and even many houseplants. The principle is the same. Healthy soil life supports healthy roots. Climate plays a role as well. In warm regions, soil microbes remain active longer throughout the year. In colder climates, they slow down when temperatures drop. During winter, especially in cold soil, microbes rest. In that season, adding molasses will not create much change. It is best used when plants are actively growing. If this feels almost too simple, that is okay. Gardening does not always need to be complicated. Often, the smallest adjustments make the biggest difference over time. When you begin using this method, it helps to have calm expectations. In the first few days, you might notice a slight deepening of leaf color. The plant may look a little more refreshed. This is usually subtle. After a week or two, stems may appear sturdier. New growth might seem steadier and more confident. By 3 to 4 weeks, the difference can be clearer. Not explosive, not dramatic, just healthier. The phrase 3 times faster can sound bold, but in reality, growth improves gradually. The plant does not rush. It responds steadily as the soil improves. Results depend on sunlight, temperature, and the type of plant. A tomato in full sun will respond differently than a fern in a shaded corner. That is normal. Observation matters more than comparison. There are a few common mistakes that can slow everything down. One is using too much molasses. A stronger mixture does not create faster results. It can actually make the soil too rich in sugar, which may stress the roots. Another mistake is applying it during dormant months in cold climates. When soil is cold, microbes are not active. Feeding them at that time brings little benefit. Combining this method with heavy synthetic fertilizers can also create imbalance. Strong chemical feeds can disrupt the very microbes you are trying to support. If you prefer synthetic fertilizer, it may be helpful to reduce the strength and allow the soil time to stabilize. If too much molasses was used, you might notice soil that feels sticky or a slight sour smell. In that case, simply flush the soil gently with plain water and allow it to dry slightly before the next watering. Balance can be restored. Different regions bring different responses. In colder northern climates, soil life wakes slowly in spring. Results may take longer. Patience is important. In warm southern regions, you may see changes sooner because microbes remain active most of the year. Indoor plants offer a steady environment. Because indoor temperatures are more stable, soil life can stay moderately active even in winter. Still, it is wise to use small amounts and observe carefully. Raised beds tend to warm up faster in spring, which can encourage quicker microbial activity. Garden beds directly in the ground may respond more gradually, especially if the soil is heavy clay. If you are caring for a garden on behalf of someone else, or if you are just beginning, remember that gentle observation is your best tool. You do not need to bend constantly or check daily. A simple glance every few days is enough. If you would like to try this yourself, choose just one plant. There is no need to treat the entire garden at once. Select a plant that has seemed slow. Apply the diluted molasses solution gently at the base. Leave another similar plant untreated for comparison. Over the next few weeks, watch quietly. Notice leaf color. Notice new growth. Notice stem strength. There is no rush. Gardening teaches patience in small ways. Sometimes doing less brings more clarity. When we stop trying to fix everything at once, we see what truly works. If you decide to test this method, you might consider sharing which plant you chose and what climate you garden in. Hearing from others in different regions can be encouraging. Slow, steady gardening often feels better when shared. No pressure, just an invitation. In the end, this is not about pushing plants to grow faster than nature intends. It is about supporting the life in the soil so the plant can grow as it was designed to grow. Healthy roots create calm, steady progress. Small, consistent care brings better results than constant adjustment. You do not need complicated systems. You do not need to work harder. You need balance. Feed the soil gently. Observe patiently. Allow nature to respond. Do less. Get more.